Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and I've got a good one for you today. Today I'm going to be talking about what has to be one of the craziest monster movie mashups of the 1960s. Talking about a film that's recently been released by Severin that I just think more people that are into this kind of movie should definitely check out. The movie in question is The Mummy and the Curse of the Jackals from 1969. This one was, it's a tacky affair, but I had a lot of fun with this. So this one, I'll quickly tell you the plot. It's ropey at best. In fact, it will sound like I'm giving a very whistle-stop account of what goes on in this one, but there's really not a lot to it, but in kind of a good way. But this one, we see this kind of scientist guy at the beginning of the film. He's in kind of like this house/mausoleum place where there's a bunch of ancient artifacts, including a Persian glass coffin housing this ancient Egyptian queen. Now, against the advice of his friends and colleagues, he stays the night in this place and has kind of these fevered dreams, but they result in him becoming a werewolf. So he's dealing with that for some of the movie, and then soon into the film, the ancient Egyptian queen awakens, and with the power of this mysterious ring, she brings to life this mummy monster. So effectively what we have is the werewolf and the mummy running around the streets of Las Vegas in just a charmingly enjoyable monster mash. The werewolf in it is pretty good. It's obviously tacked together. We get a dissolving screen transformation scene, but it did kind of harken a little bit, I felt, to the Paul Naschy werewolf horror movies. Certainly not quite as good or as stylish, but it definitely had elements of that. The mummy looked really cool. It was obviously a man in a suit, but I liked the look of him. It kind of reminded me of the Toxic Avenger with this singular bulging eye. But I certainly challenge anyone not to be entertained of the numerous shots of the werewolf and the mummy shuffling around the streets of Las Vegas. And they do get a ton of screen time, which is always a positive in my book. So we kind of just get them doing their thing, as I say, going around Las Vegas attacking people. They do have a face-off at the end, which is really good. And all of this kind of monster craziness is interspersed with the scenes of the actors having these expositional conversations to just about keep the plot moving and explain what's going on in a somewhat credible way. John Carradine pops up about an hour into the film. He's this professor who has somehow kind of linked everything together and is trying to work to a resolution to stop these terrible creatures and the curse that this Egyptian queen has put on. Quite how he's fathomed all this out whilst not being in the film, I'm not too sure, but it's not that kind of movie where you question such things. And I did have a bit of a slight worry with this one because it's set in Las Vegas. I thought that they might throw in way too many stock footage scenes of Las Vegas and showgirls dancing and things like that to eat up the runtime. But they actually didn't do anything like that. This movie solely focuses on the monster storyline at hand, much to its credit. I found this one very, very enjoyable. So, definitely a tacky affair. I'm not recommending a good piece of cinema here. Don't expect Universal monster classics or the iconic performance of Boris Karloff with the beautifully decorated sarcophagi interiors. This is very much a tacky Las Vegas outing and almost kind of a shotgun wedding style horror movie. But very much to my entertainment. I really did like this one. So yeah, if you like your kind of 60s and 70s grindhouse exploitation films with a touch of Paul Naschy werewolf horror, I think you should definitely check this one out. This was a complete blind buy for me. I wasn't expecting too much. I thought the cover was kind of blowing things way out of proportions and setting the movie up for something way more entertaining than what it can be. But no, I did have a real hoot watching this. It's a really fun, albeit silly, 1960s horror movie. So yeah, let me know if you've seen this one, guys. I don't know how much coverage this one has ever had in the history of its release, but if you've seen this one, I'd be really interested to know what you think. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.